What's up, guys? Most therapists offer some type of free initial contact, like a phone call before scheduling the first session, but what about offering that first session free of charge? I know every therapist has their own different opinion on this subject, and it's most important that you make a decision that's best for you and your clients. So in this video, I'm going to go over the pros and cons of offering an initial session free of charge. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. 22 was a long time ago. Welcome to Private Practice Skills. I'm Dr. Marie Fang, psychologist in private practice. I post videos offering tools I learned the hard way about starting and growing private practice so that you don't have to. I think the perceived benefit of offering a free initial session is fairly obvious. I mean, it's challenging enough as a potential client to figure out who to even reach out to for that initial phone call, let alone deciphering just within that quick call if this therapist is going to be a good fit. And even worse, paying all that money out of pocket can be a huge waste of money if that therapist isn't a good fit. Personally, I get it. When I first started out in private practice, I seriously considered offering the initial session for free for these same reasons. But after giving it a bit of thought, I eventually opted not to. Here are a few pros and cons for offering a free initial session in private practice. Let's start with the pros. Pro number one, putting the client's needs first. This is a huge pro of offering a free initial session. I mean, if you can imagine, if you're the client and you're feeling a little bit unsure about whether this therapist is going to be a good fit after that initial phone call, then knowing that the first session is free of charge might help eliminate the barrier between you deciding to come to therapy with this therapist or not. Pro number two, get more clients to schedule an initial session. The hope of many therapists is that by offering a free initial session, a lot more clients are going to come in to schedule that first session and then be bought into the process and become a paying client. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be the way that it always works out, but it is a great sentiment if it did work that way. Next, let's talk about some of the cons. Con number one, lost income. This is a big one. I mean, think about it. How many free sessions would you be willing to offer per week? Maybe one free session, 3, 5. Even if I only offered one free intake session per week, that would amount to $660 a month, which comes out to nearly $8,000 a year in lost income. I don't know about you, but for me, that's a lot of money, and I seriously consider whether I want to just give that away for free. Con number two, time investment. If you meet face-to-face, even if it's free of charge, you officially become this person's therapist. And that means you have to complete all affiliated paperwork related to being someone's therapist. That client needs to complete the informed consent intake paperwork, and you need to complete all the typical documentation that you normally do with a new client. And I don't know about you, but that takes me a fair amount of time. So the time investment isn't just this free hour that you're offering for this client, but also the time that you spend on documentation. And for me, that can sometimes take upwards of 40 minutes per client. That's an hour and 40 minutes of work that I just did for free for someone I might not ever see again. There's something I want to say about this that I think is really important to address. I have seen therapists who offer that free initial appointment without completing any documentation at all, unless that individual decides to schedule a follow-up appointment and becomes a paying client. Though that sounds kind of nice, this is a huge no-no. It's illegal to see someone for services without filling out the proper documentation, and you can be held liable big time if anything goes wrong with this person that you've met with. Con number three, lack of client investment. Sometimes offering something for free is not always good for business. Oftentimes when potential clients see that they can get something for free, they might be interested in attending only for 1 or maybe 2 sessions before completing therapy. Or you might get people on board in your practice who are not really invested in the therapeutic process. And I've seen time and again that therapists working with unmotivated clients, especially when it's free of charge, is a recipe for therapist burnout. I'm quite sure my bias is coming through here as I'm going through these pros and cons, as I believe for me those cons outweigh the pros. But I am really interested to hear from you if you have offered that free initial session before and had a positive experience. Leave a comment because I think it'd be really great to hear different perspectives. With all that said, I do really believe in the pros of offering that free initial session, and I think there's some strategies we can use to make that happen in other ways. And one huge one that I think most therapists are lacking in is making sure that your marketing strategy makes crystal clear to clients what the experience of working with you is going to feel like for them. So that way they can go through your website or your marketing materials and really feel like they've already built a sense of trust with you before they've ever even sent you an email or left you a voicemail. In addition to offering clarity in my marketing materials, I also offer a free initial phone consultation. I have a whole video all about that initial phone screening, so I'll put a link to that below and up here somewhere. It's important that this initial call is a screening that goes both ways. So keep in mind that this is an opportunity for this potential client to get a sense of who you are and what it would be like for them to work with you so that they have a sense of clarity before they decide to schedule a session with you. Whether you decide to offer a free initial in-person consultation or not, be sure to weigh out all these pros and cons and make a decision that's the best fit for you and your clients. Well, I hope you found this video helpful, and until next time, from one therapist to another, I wish you well. The amount of work that I do is far it's harder to say than it seems. Yeah. Whether they're gonna be a good fit,